Today we're going to take a look at two Miyoo flips courtesy of MechDIY. About a month ago, or a little over a month ago, they sent me a gray one. I had an option between gray and yellow because that was what was available at the time. And I was like, heck yeah, send me the gray one. That's the one I like the most anyway. And then right after they confirmed that they were shipping it to me, I saw all the posts on Reddit about the hinge splitting right here. And I reached out to them saying, hey, can you send a yellow one instead? Because it kind of seems like the gray one has an issue. But they had already shipped it out. So I said, all right, I'm going to test it for about a month before I do a video, and we're going to see if this hinge holds up. And since then, they reached out to me and let me know that the black ones came in, and we worked out a deal so that I can review a black one as well. So we're going to take a look at this hinge. Here you go. After a month of use, it still works perfectly fine, but I will say it is a little bit scary. I can't really pick it up in this frame. It's kind of hard to do. I'm shooting with my iPhone now and it never really focuses as well. So let me try to get this close here. And there is a lot of resistance when you open this hinge. And then there's like these two stopping points and a third one that I wouldn't even recommend doing because I think that's where the hinge snaps. But if you look close, you'll see the hinge right there splitting apart. It's not all the way split, and it's been that way since the beginning, and it hasn't gotten any worse. So I don't know what to say, but still, I probably wouldn't recommend the gray for that reason. So we're going to check out the black and see if it's any better, because overall, I absolutely love this thing. I think it's awesome. So let's check out the black one. And after we do, we'll test it out with the original stock firmware. And then after that, we're going to check out the Surwish custom firmware or the custom curated card by MechDIY. So we got the 256 SanDisk card right here. We'll check that out after we check out this black Miyoo Flip. And there's the specs for everybody. Go ahead and take a look at that right there. All right, let's get into this thing. I actually just switched phones to my Samsung Galaxy because the iPhone just doesn't cut it when I shoot videos. It's a great phone and it's a great camera, but for whatever reason, the autofocus doesn't work very well. Anyway, we're gonna check this thing out. Since it is an RG35XX chip, we're not going to do too much game testing on it. We will test it and see how things feel, how things work. But there's a bunch of RG3566 chips out there, so we kind of know the performance. It's more about how the build quality is, how it looks, how it feels, stuff like that. And there it is, the box with the crayon colors. I kind of like it. So we're going to take a look at this box real quick before I open it, just like we do in any other regular unboxing, because I didn't really do an unboxing for this device. I showed you the specs on the back, and I realized it is an RG3566 chip device, but it doesn't even say it on there. It just shows that it's a Cortex A55 1.8 gigahertz with that 3.5-inch screen, 640 by 480. I'm not going to read all this out, but what it doesn't show on here is that it has HDMI out. So I'm not sure if they just forgot to list it on here or what. But there's no indication of the color on this. The box is identical to the gray one, except for a sticker on the top, and this barcode right here doesn't say anything either that would indicate that it's black. So I hope it is black, and I hope it works better than the gray one. So we're just going to open this up, and we're going to take a look. After I do, we'll take a look at a bunch of different handhelds. The RG35XX SP, the PowKiddy V90, and maybe I'll find another one. I'm not sure. Let's just get into this. I like that they include a carrying case. I think that's a nice touch. That's the same thing that the Ampound or the XU Mini M, the Magic X, had, which I thought was cool. It's a nice case. It feels like the exact same quality. They even show the legal stuff on the back. Little gamepad tag on the zipper, rubber, and the moment of truth. Here's our manual. We'll look at that in a second, and it does look like it's the black one. So, all right, I'm just going to give you a quick look at this manual in case anybody wants to pause it and read it on their own time. It's a long, skinny one, okay? So we'll start right here. Hopefully that's in focus. The Samsung usually does better without me having to touch the screen in order to get everything focused. I can't see the screen where I'm holding this right now, so I hope it comes through clear. Nobody ever seems to utilize this stuff, I don't think anyway, but there it is for you guys. if you want it. In here we have a film, just like the other one, and a USB-C to USB-A cable, a white one, and it's actually flat, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure which would be better to sit inside here, because it's still basically just as thick either way, but it fits, and it's a clamshell, so you're not worried about messing up the screen. All right, so let's pull this thing out, and here we go. I'm not showing the hinge just yet. Okay, let's move this stuff out of the way. And let me zoom in. All right, so here it is, black. Does it have fingerprint problem? Doesn't look like it has a problem with fingerprints. Not bad, at least. Who knows, maybe my hands will get really sweaty in the process. The texture feels fine, a little bit matte, as you can see. I'll pull out the gray one after we go over everything, because I kind of want to just talk about how the device feels, because I haven't even done that yet. So I guess first thing is taking a look at the I/O. We have the USB-C. This is the OTG port, I think. Actually, that's the charging port on the top. This is your OTG port, your headphone jack, and your mini HDMI out. Shoulder buttons, really quiet. You hear that? I don't know, are they quieter than the gray one? We'll have to see. I'm not sure. So I haven't opened it yet. Let's take a quick look at that hinge right there. It seems less visible to me. You can obviously see it right there, and for good reason, because that whole top of the shell should be able to come off. But yeah, hopefully that stays together better there. Because it's black, obviously it's more hidden. But yeah, we have a SD card in here. Oh, we don't have one in there. We don't have one in here either. Awesome. Okay, so they sent me a replacement, which is great. So what I can do is I could put in their brand new Surwish card, but if I do that, then I'm showing this off right away before we even looked at the stock firmware. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the card out of the other Miyoo Flip and put it in here, and we're going to start with that one so we have something to compare this to. Before we do that, let's just open this thing up and take a look at the rest of the device. First thing I'll do is hold this right here, see if we can get it. I can't really see if that's showing on camera or not, but I'm going to open this up. We're going to see if that hinge splits right there a little bit. Yeah, it's too hard for me to tell. You guys let me know in the comments if you see that right there. What I notice more on the gray one is that it looks like it splits more when it closes. So let's try that with it closing. Right here is where you should be able to see it. And I honestly can't tell you. It looks like it's staying together much tighter, honestly. Yeah, I could be wrong because it's hard from this angle. So you guys let me know. Compare it to that beginning, because I know I saw it splitting in the gray one. So all right, that's the hinge test right now, just to see if it's better out of the box. Let's open this thing up and take a look at the inside. That's the first click right there, that angle. Second click and third click, which I'll probably avoid for the most part. Just gonna bring it back right there. And I should zoom out a little bit. Actually, before I do, let's just take a look at the D-pad and the buttons. They're super quiet and they're nice. The D-pad's a little skinnier than I like. I kind of like the thicker D-pads, but it has a central pivot, which is something the RG35XX SP does not have. I'm not sure about the 34XX SP because I haven't gotten that one in my hands yet, but I like this D-pad better. It's better than the V2 version of the 35XX SP. These buttons, way better. Listen, can you hear anything? You could probably hear something, but barely anything. They are so soft and quiet, but they're still clicky. They're dome switches, and they feel really good. I actually really love these buttons. That's why I was saying I actually kind of love this device. Sticks, everybody was clowning on the sticks, saying, why are they on the bottom like this, and why do you even have them? I'm glad they're here. Personally, I like them. They're good for shoot 'em ups. They're good for certain beat 'em ups, and I'm not really going to be using that right one too much, but this left one I'll use, and it doesn't feel too bad. And there's another thing good for this. Right here, I have a box somewhere around here. Yeah, here it is. It's huge, so we're going to open this too. We have Miyoo Flip Grip, AyaNeo Pocket Micro Grip on here, which we can check out too, because I still need to review that one. And a Miyoo Flip charging dock, so that's cool. We also have some Retroid pocket stuff on here as well. So yeah, we're going to open this big box later, thanks to Boxin House store on AliExpress. Thank you, Joe. You're awesome. So we'll get into that later in the video. Yeah, I need to get a mic so when I turn my head, you guys can still hear what I'm saying nice and clear. And I am waffling. I'll have chapters in this for those of you who don't want to deal with the waffling. We're going to take the SD card out of it. I've never looked at this card to see if it's actually a quality card or not. The Surwish card is a high quality card. That's a SanDisk card. So let's see what they send with the basic one, or at least to me they send. It is a SanDisk card, a legit SanDisk 64 gig card. Cool. All right, and which one was that? That was on the right side. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this off aside. Actually, real quick, one more peek at that hinge right here. Remember what I said about closing it? One more look. Yeah, right there. Seemed like it looked worse on the first one. So like I'm saying, you see it right there. I don't know if it's gonna get any worse. Stop waffling, Nick. Get into the video. Let's go. I think this is the way it goes. Yeah. When you cut your nails right before a video, it makes it hard to put SD cards in. Really hard. At least it goes in deep and you don't have it sticking out of the side like on some consoles. I like that. All right, let's open this thing up and start it up. Hopefully there's some battery, and there is. I'm gonna see how long it takes to start up here. Should I peel this off for you guys? I will. Just give me a minute. Come on, Miyoo. We're waiting. So the stock firmware to me isn't bad on here. I mean, I'm sure that Onion OS, if we can get that on here, that's going to be great. Has that been a thing yet? Is that a thing yet? Let me know if it's in the works, if it's already ready. I'm kind of out of the loop, guys. I've been not able to keep up. So I'm counting on you guys in the comments down below. So here's the user interface. I can't, yeah, it started right there, I think, with recent. On the left, is it going to show anything? It is. It's showing the things that I played on the gray one. Okay, so favorites here, I haven't favorited anything yet. Recents, you can see that. That's weird. Just a second ago, it showed some recents. That's funny. Okay, maybe it just needed to think for a second when I put the card in. You saw that. I have it on record. Maybe I should try restarting it and see what happens. That's a little unfortunate. Strange. Okay, so I pressed the Miyoo button, and now we're here. It's like a different theme, and favorites are empty. Games, empty. RetroArch, empty. It's acting like there's nothing going on. It's acting like the card isn't in here. Geez. So I'm going to power this off. Okay. So that was weird. I'm not sure what happened there, but I shut it down. I restarted it. It was the same. Nothing was showing up in here. Then I shut it down again. I took the card out, put it back in, and now everything's fine. So back to where we were. This is the user interface. We start with the recent section right here. You can see these are the games that I played. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't play in here that is in here, including some ports. There's even Shredder's Revenge, Balatro. Yeah, so favorites, nothing yet. This is the section that I use for all my gameplay. It pretty much has everything set up perfectly already. There's a bunch of different systems in here, as you can see. I'm not going to go into game count and all that right now. This is a 64 gig card. We're going to check out the 256 gig card by Surwish, so this is going to be probably a lot better. Thank you, MechDIY. But yeah, okay, so here's the RetroArch section that has the different emulators right here. I really don't mess with this. If any of you guys do, let me know what it does for you and why you prefer it if you do. And then here we have our apps, the USB storage app, RetroArch, the Dingus Commander. We have Celeste right here. It's funny how Celeste is always there in the apps. A music player. I'm not even sure what that is. A garden story, okay. An ebook reader. There's Balatro right there. RetroArch 64. Shredder's Revenge. No art for that one. Sonic Mania. Half-Life. Wipeout. And Stardew Valley. Yeah, I've never even played that one. Is that good? I can't read what that says right there. What is that one, guys? I know you guys can tell me. But let's keep going down. Yeah, I'm not sure what all these are right there. That's some kind of real-time clock. Willy Willy, what is that again? I've seen that before, but I'm not sure what it is. Scum VM, and we're back to the top, okay? And then settings, this is where you're gonna power off right there. Brightness, we're at 7 out of 10. We might as well, you know what, before we go any further, let's pull this film off right here. All right. So let's just test the brightness. I'm going to bring it up to 10. There we are. And let's bring it down to 0 or to 1. It's not that big of a range, to be honest. That's still pretty bright, in my opinion. My camera always makes things look brighter than it is. So you know what I'll do real quick? Let's test it one more time with the lights off. Let's get moody. Okay, so we are at 10 right now. Again, my camera's probably going to compensate, but let's go down to 0 or to 1. Yeah, it goes to 0, but that is still really bright. This is probably not going to be a good console if you have a significant other in bed with you and you want to play at night, unless they're wearing an eye mask or something, because these buttons are super quiet. Even the shoulder buttons are pretty quiet. I mean, maybe not for bedtime play, but compared to most consoles, they are. The face buttons are amazingly quiet. So, all right, let's bring that brightness back up to 7. That's all it needs to be at, because it is pretty damn bright. LCD frequency, what is it at? Okay, 800 hertz, all that. I'm just leaving that alone. I'm not going to mess with that. We have the Wi-Fi here. I'm not even going to bother turning it on right now. I'm not going to use it for the moment. Bluetooth, we won't mess with that. Maybe in another video, I want to do some video out stuff. I have a monitor that I want to show on this channel that was sent to me for review. And I have this 8849 mini projector. Actually, this is something I'm kind of excited to do a review on. You know, it's just a little mini projector that can actually be powered by your phone, so it's not going to be really bright. But I need to figure out how to set up a video to do this, because so far everything I've done has been just shooting straight down directly on the table. This one's going to be kind of fun. We'll figure something out. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for this. Which console should I use for doing the projection? I don't know, maybe this one. It has Bluetooth, it has a HDMI out, so it might work perfect. Anyway, color, I'm not going to mess with that. Being colorblind, I don't touch that. Language, it's already on English. Calibration, let's take a look at these sticks. All right, so this is going to show us if there's any cardinal locking or not. I'm going to bring my thumb down so you can actually see this up close instead of being way down here and not giving you guys a good look at it. But we're just going to move around on here and see. They're actually surprisingly decent range for how low profile they are. And I think people are just talking smack because it's trendy to talk smack. There's very little cardinal locking, but yeah, there is cardinal locking, you could see. But look at how easily it slips off of that line. To me, that's a good sign. You know, it's also kind of nice to have a little bit of cardinal locking because it gives you a little bit of accuracy when you do want to just walk straight. But it comes off the line very easily and it moves through. It's nice. These sticks are not bad. I think they did a good job calibrating them. So there we are with stick calibration. I'm pretty happy with these little sticks. After all the smack talk that people had about these sticks, I think they're pretty cool and I'm happy to have them on here. I would have preferred them to be on the RG35XX SP. I don't really understand why they're on the 34XX SP and not on the 35XX SP, but that's another story. So all right, let's play a few games. We're going to start with arcade here, and we're going to test a few different things. We're going to test this Dpad on Capcom Play System 3 with Street Fighter Third Strike. But before I do that, I want to test some type of shoot 'em up with this thumbstick right here. I'm not really good at these vertical shoot 'em ups. I think I tested them in one of the other consoles I showed recently, but I'm going to try a horizontal shoot 'em up on this. And one I could think of that's not too far down the line would be Cotton, as an American would say. We don't pronounce the T's very well, do we? But here it is right here. I haven't played this game more than for a couple minutes in my life, so we're going to give it a shot right here and just see how it works with this thumbstick, okay? After this, I'll test Street Fighter, and I'll probably minimize all the waffling and talking I'm doing. We'll just play a few different games, and then after that, we'll test that other Surwish card. So let's throw a couple coins in here and get going on this. We don't need to read the story, but look at that. Look how much easier you can kind of maneuver with the thumbstick. Whoop, I dropped the bomb right there, didn't I? All right, so I'm gonna look at the actual screen here instead of my phone. But yeah, it feels right, and it doesn't feel like uncomfortable. Honestly, I should pull out the grip that I have that Boxin House store sent to me, but I want to kind of show that the grip isn't actually necessary to use these thumbsticks, depending on what you're playing. If you're playing ports or something where you need both thumbsticks at the same time and you're doing like first-person shooters, yeah, that might be an issue. I don't know about that, but one thumbstick, not a big deal. You can see I'm able to dodge the bubbles. Am I supposed to dodge the bubbles? I probably am. But yeah, okay. Oh, it looks like if you shoot those gems, you kind of like make them worth more or something. What was going on there? It seemed like it bounced when I shot it. Anyway, here we are with Cotton. Looks like I'm supposed to dodge these. Let's see how well I can dodge them with the thumbstick. Let's see how the D-pad works. So with that pivot, the D-pad still Totally works, but I died. That wasn't the D-pad's fault though. Anyway, the D-pad works and it has a great pivot. Honestly, I think it's better than the Anbernic D-pad for that very reason. The Anbernic D-pad presses all 4 buttons at once if you try to. So, all right, I think that's enough cotton. Let's test a little bit of Street Fighter, and then we'll test a few things like PSP or something like that. All right, let's get out of here. All right, we're gonna go into CPS Capcom Play System 3, and we're gonna try Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. We're just gonna test one match, I think. I kind of wish I had the grip on for this, because that's the type of thing I would use the grip for. Fighting games aren't great when your hands are kind of dangling off the bottom of the device, but we're just gonna see if we can throw a fireball. So let's just get into this. I'm not even gonna map my buttons. Fireball, first one, no problem. I missed the second one, but yeah, this is good. Diagonals, no problem. Let's see if we can get a Shoryuken. No problem. Yeah, we're good. Even though he just headbutted me. There we go. Payback, punk. Hurricane kick. There it is. Alright, so Street Fighter's good. I think I might pull out those grips now. Just for the heck of it. We'll test a few more games before we pull that Surwish card out. I want to see how this thing feels with a nice comfortable grip on it. Alright, so I'm going to zoom out here, and while I am unboxing this massive box right here of grips, I don't think we'll go through all of them right now, just the Miyoo ones, but I'm going to set this thing on the charger, so 1 second. Okay, as I was putting the Miyoo Flip on the charger, I realized I had the ports wrong. This is the charging port on the bottom, not the top. That's the OTG port. So let's get into this thing right here. Oh, look at that. Dangerous. Yeah, it's time for a new blade. But this one's super cheap. If like you pinch right here, this thing just falls right out. So, all right, I'm going to spare you the unboxing. We're just going to get into the grip. I changed my mind because they always do such a nice job with these that I wanted to show it. I saw a thank you card right here on the top and figured, you know what? They're so cool at Boxing House store. I'm just going to kind of show this quick. A bunch of the cardboard went inside when I sliced it open, but we got a bunch of stuff in here. Look at all this stuff that they send. Usually they don't send a massive box like this, but they'll send a smaller box, and they're packed really nice. There's always some kind of cute little thing inside that they give you for free, so that's kind of cool right there. But all right, I'll spare you the time looking at everything in here. Look at this. We have a Retroid Pocket RP5 grip, and I don't even have an RP5, so I'm gonna have to think about what to do with that. I might be getting one though. So I'm going to move all this aside, and we're just going to see what we need for today. We need the Miyoo Flip grip. We're going to check this one out on another day right there. And I want the charging dock. Where is that? Oh, that's right here. Okay. And we got the 4th of July fireworks starting early here in Long Beach. This is a regular thing here. It even happens when 4th of July is like a year away. Like, no, more like 6 months away, when there would be no point in lighting fireworks. Okay, so this looks like the dock for the, AyaNeo, so I'm going to put that one aside. We got a little charging, magnetic, you know, one of those little magnetic ones. That's cool. There we go, Miyoo Flip dock. Let me zoom in now. Okay, so here's the grip. Let's take that out and take a look at it. I guess I'll test it with the gray one right now, since I have the black one on the charger for a few minutes. And there we go again. You can't film during the day here because there is always noise, and now at night, man, it's tough around here sometimes. Okay, so these are, I guess, the little buttons that you put on the sides. I guess they gave spares, which is kind of cool. These are nice too. They usually would come in clear in the past. I like that they're actually matching this time. So that's a nice looking grip. We're going to take a better look at it in just a second here. So let's take a look at this. Look at the 3D print quality on this. You hardly even see the lines, and the amount of lines you do see just serve as grip, and it's just a really nicely polished 3D printed grip. Feel free to skip ahead, guys, if you're not into this stuff and you just want to see the Miyoo Flip and all that, but I'm excited about this, and I want to see how it works, because I like grips on all my little handhelds for when I'm playing at home. So I think it's going to have to go in like that. Yeah, and it just kind of slides in nicely. It's not coming out. And so you have a hole in the back right here you can push, and then it comes out nicely. There's some soft rubber padding on the sides right here, so you're not going to scratch your device. It's all the way around on the bottom, not on the back right here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. So yeah, that's right, like this, and we're in. Okay, so easy with this hinge, Nick. There it is in the hands. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that is awesome. Shout out to Joe, Boxin House Store. I'll have links in the description for these. He has grips for almost every console out there right now. So yeah, very, very nice. I don't have a card in this, so I'm going to slide this one out now. And I'm going to go get the other console off the charger, and we're going to give it a shot. In the end, you know, we'll test this thing out on another day, but I forgot to pull it out, so we'll do that real quick. I'm all over the place here, guys. You know I do these videos off the cuff. I don't have any kind of script. If you guys would like me to be more polished and have a script and do voiceovers and stuff like that, let me know if that's something you prefer. If you like my style of just kind of keeping it kind of natural, I kind of like doing it this way. So yeah, you know what? Let's just check this out real quick. You're going to put this little piece right here in the bottom right here. And that's kind of cool that I got the black one because it's going to match really nice with that. So you can just keep this in all the time if you want. I probably wouldn't, but you could. And then you just drop it in, boom. It's going to charge on the back right here. It's not going to be any kind of fast charge, but I don't think you're going to get any kind of fast charge. Probably 5 volt, 2 amp with this device. But yeah, you can see it's popping off right there. Once you set it down, just keep it in a good spot. It's definitely not the strongest magnet, but if you wanted, you could pull this whole thing out and you can just use any cable you want right there. All right, let's get that other Miyoo Flip back out. So the Flip has had a few minutes on the charger now. I put it in the grip and man, does that look good. Check this out. It feels so good in the hands. It looks like it's meant to be in there. And this kind of grip is the thing you would need to actually play twin stick games comfortably on a device like this. And I actually think you really could. I'm not going to do that right now. And actually, I'm not even going to start it up just a second. I'm going to remove the stock card and we're going to put in the Surwish card by MechDIY. This is a highly curated card. It should be really a nice experience. So we're going to check that out. I'll spare you the time opening this up. I'll install it and then we'll boot it up together and check it out for the first time. I kind of wanted to keep this package intact. I don't know why, maybe just because it says Surwish up in the top corner right there. So if you want, just cut it at the top with a pair of scissors, get this little piece off right here, and you could pop it open like that and slide out this little card right here. So I'm going to remove the stock card in here. There it is. All right, I'm going to set that off to the side for right now. I'm probably going to put it in this case right here. How do we open this? Okay, little tabs right there. And I'm going to dump it, set it right there, and replace it with this one. Safekeeping. All right, I could put this back in here, and now it is no longer a Surwish card, but it's protected, and it's somewhere where I'll recognize it and I'll know what it is. So here it is one more time up close, an official SanDisk card, legit. Let's get this thing going. Got it on the first try. All right, here we go. Let's see what kind of differences there are. It's probably going to be the same basic user interface, just with a lot more going on inside of it. Surwish, look at that. Okay, it says press A to flash. What? B to cancel? I'm not sure what. I don't want to flash anything. I'm going to press B to cancel and see what happens. Okay, that looks good. I don't know what it means. Press A to flash. If you guys know, let me know. I'm going to ask MechDIY about that. So here we are. It's a nice looking front end right here, user interface. It's basically the same thing with a different theme, a Surwish theme. Let's go and see really quick. I don't even remember how to get to themes on the Miyoo Mini. But here's Portmaster right here. I don't have my Wi-Fi turned on right now, so we're not going to mess with too much today. In regards to Portmaster, we have Emulation Station down here, which is kind of cool. We'll check that out in a minute. Games. So yeah, the icons look different on this. And there's 7 pages of games. So I think the other one had 4 or 5 pages. I can't remember. Scroll back if you guys want to see exactly. Videos. What do we have in videos? TV in English. I'm not going to play anything. Look at, we have CBS News and Bloomberg. I don't want to get any copyright strikes. Big Buck Bunny, TV French. Okay. Yeah, just a bunch of different stuff in here. Supervision. I don't even know where to start with this. There's just so much going on. I think it's just going to be like an awesome collection of games. What do we have in collections? Okay, look at this. We have arcade shoot 'em ups. We have the Super Mario collection. This is where they're getting gangster. So we have the Donkey Kong and the Mario games right there. The OG arcade ones. Our Atari 2600 is probably going to have, yeah, Donkey Kong 2600 and Donkey Kong Jr., Famicom. So we got all the Mario games basically in here with the Surwish card, Game Boy. I like how they do that. It's a good way to collect your ROMs if you don't have all these in a nice organized way and throw them on another device. So yeah, it's a good card. And I don't know if these ROMs are going to be high quality ROMs, but I have a feeling they are. I think whoever put this together took the time to make sure that the ROMs play well. I wish they would have made the text like properly spaced and capitalized and stuff like that, but I might just be getting nitpicky. See, some of them are. We have the game art for all this stuff. And yeah, if I go through this one by one, it's going to take forever. Pokemon, all the Pokemon stuff in here for all you guys. If you have a question about if a certain Pokemon game is in here and I'm not showing it right now, you can ask me and I'll check and let you know in the comments down below. But yeah, it looks like they got a lot of stuff in here, especially for DS. So, okay. Then we have the Turtles collection, the Zelda collection, the Sonic collection. I'm not going to go through all these right now, guys. It's just going to take too long. But yeah, that's cool. That was just like the TrimUI Smart Pro had that too for their Surwish collection. So apps, probably going to be the same stuff. Okay, flash your own boot logo, Emu Cleaner, file browser, FTP, KO reader. I'm not sure what that is. Music player, obviously some kind of an e-reader. OTA update, update cross mix from the internet. So if an update's available, I could turn on the Wi-Fi and do that right there. There's another ebook reader. And Portmaster. So I probably will turn my Wi-Fi on for this thing and check Portmaster. And we have Scraper on here too. Okay, so cool. All right, so I'm just going to play a few different games on a few different systems and have some fun with this thing. I think the Surwish card is a nice card. If you want to have somebody else do all the work for you, that's the way to go. It's not cheap, but if you got the money to spend, hey, MechDIY can hook you up painlessly. They make it really easy if you have the money. So Need for Speed on Nintendo DS. Do we have? Yeah, we have top and bottom screen there. All right, here we go. Whoa. Whoa, that's a sharp turn. All right, Nick, I'm looking at my phone. Here we go. Wow. All right, so I've never played this before. Let's see if the thumbstick works. Thumbsticks aren't mapped for this, but you really got to like let off of the gas to make those turns. Holy crap, it turns really sharp. I don't like this. Is the graphics normally looking like that for this car? Because there's like lacking detail. Need for Speed on Nintendo DS is a strange one. I could use a little drift action, but he's just gripping onto the road. Yeah, oh, there he goes. He drifts if you take your foot off the gas. Let me see if I press the brake when I turn the corner. There we go. All right, but not good. This one was going to take some acclimation. Oh, yeah, not a good one for me. But it looks like it could be good. It's playing really well, nice and smooth. Oh, what did I do? Oh, that was it. Third place. That should have been like last place. That probably was last place, but we're going to get out of there. Drastic. Okay, Nintendo DS works. I'm not going to get too far into it. That was a terrible example of good gameplay, but hey, it shows that the game plays well. We have new Super Mario Brothers here. You know I test that all the time. We'll just test it for the first level for the heck of it, because that's something I actually know how to play. So I'll just play the first level of this. I'm just going to make him huge and run to the end of the level. After this, I might want to try something on Dreamcast to see if we can get the rumble motors working on this. I know Virtua Tennis is always one that I enjoy playing that has rumble. I'm probably going to avoid Crazy Taxi today. We just played a car game and I did terrible at it. But yeah, we'll just test a few different games. I want to see if the rumble feels good on this device. The screen looks really nice here. This looks really nice. I didn't like the way the car looked on Need for Speed, but here we go. This is looking good. It's looking a lot better than Nintendo DS normally looks. I think they have some kind of optimization going here. Because I know a lot of people, some people in the comments told me different settings for drastic to make things run and look better. I don't have that stuff memorized yet, but looks like they got things figured out here. All right, here we go. We're just going to charge to the end of the level. See if I can make it all the way to the flag. I'm not going to go for the cones or anything. I mean the coins. Oh, I didn't make it. I only got one up. Can I get to the top of the flag? Nope. I'm never good at that. All right, let's try something else, you guys. Wow, that screen really looks nice. Look at that. My goodness. Wow. All right. See how the thumbstick works and the vibration for Sega Dreamcast. Even further. As you can see, I have my trusty grip on, and it's awesome. It makes it just so much more playable. All right. Oh yeah, we got a nice strong vibration. And it's actually, oh, I'm not doing well. The vibration is more intense than it is on some of the other devices I felt, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel scratchy. It's just really pronounced. You can definitely feel it. Oh man, I hit it the wrong way. Yeah, I like it. There we go. All right, so yeah, Sega Dreamcast, looking good, feeling good, playing good. Got my max serve right there. Take that. Gotcha. No! There it is. All right, I don't need to play a full match here for you guys. We're going to get out of there. Just save game, load game, native menu. Here's how you can get into RetroArch. We're going to close content. Why not? All right, so that was Sega Dreamcast. We got Sega Saturn on here. Panzer Dragoon. Should we test that? Let's test Panzer Dragoon. I know I said I was going to do PSP, but let's just test a couple more systems. So you can hear a little bit of choppiness going on. Sega Saturn definitely doesn't play perfectly on an RG3566 chip, but let's see if it's acceptable. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would depend on you. It's kind of a subjective experience. It's a little bit choppy. It's kind of cool though. It's still kind of fun, especially for just casual gameplay. I won't play for too long here. We're just kind of getting an idea. I always have to get used to the inverted controls, pressing down for up and all that. I get that guy. Do any other buttons do anything? Oh! This is still a good experience. I'm enjoying it. Where am I going? This way, huh? There they are. They're over there. Turn. Won't let me turn. These on-rail shooters. There you guys are. Oh! I hit the wall, huh? Oh, again. Alright, guys. Let's try something else. Wow, so I just noticed that it seems they forgot to include PSP on the Surwish card. Unless I'm just overlooking it. There's 7 pages here. And I am not seeing PSP. Are you guys? So I think I'm just going to skip PSP for today. Most of us know how a PSP game is going to play on an RG3566 chip. Not every game is going to work. A lot of them will. With a little tweaking, you can get most of them to work. But I guess let's just try something in ports. We could put the old card in and play some PSP on there because it is on there. I'll make sure to let MechDIY know, and I'm sure they're going to update all their cards and put some PSP on there because it should be on here. It's kind of interesting that it's not. But what do we have in here? We got some Apotris, Axion Verge, Balatro, Billy Frontier, Blobby Valley 2, Block Attack. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Just scroll down through them so you guys see what's in the ports. I'm surprised there's no PSP on here. I ain't angry at them because they've done a lot of good things, but I think it should be on here, and good things in regard to making things nice for us, I should say. But yeah, no PSP and a bunch of ports, a bunch of good ports, and yeah, I'm guessing, I'm surprised I don't see, oh, there it is. I was going to say, I'm surprised I didn't see Shredder's Revenge. It was under TMNT. All right, so let's just do Apotris for the heck of it. Something simple, test the D-pad out, and we're probably going to leave it at that.
Ready. Go.
And volume down a little bit. Yeah, this D-pad works really well. I like it. I really like this D-pad. I like the buttons. They're super quiet. I'm really digging the Miyoo Flip. So many people talk so much smack, and I like it. Alright. How do we get out of a game here? Just quit like that. Wait, I quit. There we go. Alright, guys. And how do we get out of here? Exit. There we go. Quit. I always forget how to exit ports on these devices. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I didn't cover on here, and there is some stuff I did cover. The last thing I want to do is kind of show a few different handhelds, clamshell handhelds, compared to this one, and just get a look at the different options out there. Okay, so I'm going to shut this thing off for now. Is there anything else to look at on here? Probably. Let me know in the comments what I missed and what we should look at. I know I didn't do Portmaster on here. Sorry, guys. We're going to do that another day. I need to acclimate myself with Portmaster more. Real quick here, guys, another off-the-cuff experience. Before we do the clamshell comparison test, I forgot to check Emulation Station on here, so we're going to do that now. We're going to go into settings here, and let's just see what Emulation Station looks like on this device here. Let's use it by default. Sure, why not? We'll switch back later if we want. Okay, so nice theme. I think this might be that, I forget the name of the theme. Carbon or something, I'm not sure. Some of them are missing artwork in the back. Maybe we have PSP here. That'd be nice if it showed up here. Let's see. I'm going, there it is. Awesome. Okay, so we do have some PSP on here. For whatever reason, it's not showing up on the stock, so we get to test it. I'm so glad I decided to do this. And we're just going to try something simple today. Just to see, I'm glad to see that PSP is on here, but I don't want to try pushing PSP. Oh, that didn't even work. Okay, so let's see. Maybe there's no ROMs on here. I'm not sure. Let's see if something else works. Mortal Kombat. Outrun 2006? You gotta be kidding me. Please work. Nope. Okay, that's a little bit disappointing. You heard all that excitement in my voice, and something is going on here. And they're not working. Okay, so PSP, unfortunately, is not on this device. It's weird that it shows all the games that would be included, but something's not right. Maybe they're there and they're not. Do they need to be unzipped? I can't remember. But yeah, we got a bunch of. Let's see if something will start in a different system. Just let's go to like Crash Bandicoot or something. Yeah. Okay, so it's not PSP alone, it's Emulation Station. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with that, and I'm not gonna be able to do that in this video. So Emulation Station at this point, I don't think is an option. How do we get out of here? Use Miyoo UI, that's how we're gonna get out of there, right there. I'm not even gonna bother looking at all the themes and stuff right now. If it's not working, I don't wanna mess with it till it is. So let me know if you guys got an idea how to fix that. So I'm going to close this thing back up, and we're going to compare it to the other handhelds that I have here that are a clamshell form factor. So I'm going to show the devices I have in order of biggest to smallest. I actually have the Retroid Pocket Flip 2, but I haven't unboxed it yet. So the first device we're going to start with right here is the PowKiddy X18S. Yeah, this device gets a lot of hate. It's been out for quite a while. I think it's the first device that had the Unisoc T618 chip, and it's a pretty capable device, and it's a tank. This device is solid, but it doesn't have great controls. I swapped the D-pad out for a Nintendo DS D-pad, same with the membranes, put the PS Vita sticks in it. It's a little better, the sticks don't click, but yeah, it's just not a device I would recommend. I still kind of like it, but I wouldn't recommend it. So we're just gonna set this one off over here for now. The next device we have, the next biggest device that I have is gonna be the Anbernic RG35XX SP. I have the little TPU thing on it. I took the top off right now, but this device is awesome too. I absolutely love it. But the buttons, they're not as good as they are on the Miyoo Flip. These are the improved Anbernic RG35XX SP buttons. The original ones, man, I did not like them. They were just really loud and tiring to press, fatiguing. These are better. They're totally serviceable, but this D-pad has no pivot, as you can see, whereas the Miyoo Flip does have a pivot. I like the colors, though, on the Anbernic 35XX SP. So there's that. We'll set that right there. The next biggest one is going to be the Miyoo Flip. We've already looked at it, so I'm just going to set this one down right here. And what do we have next? It's going to be the PowKiddy V90. They just got the new V90 put out. I haven't got my hands on that one yet. I know a few people have, but this is a great little budget device. The screen's not that great. The performance isn't that great, but it's pretty cool. It can play pretty much everything up to PS1. It's going to struggle with some SNES and stuff like that. You guys let me know. You know more than me about these devices. But I've had a lot of fun with this thing for a long time. Standard membrane buttons. Nice D-pad. It has a pivot. Quiet buttons. Stereo speakers. You could remove these BL5C batteries. I got a bunch of extras. So this is a good device to just bring with you and not worry about losing because they're super cheap. It's really light. But yeah, let's just set that one there. And I just have one more clamshell to show today. I might have more and I just blank out right now. But we have the FunKey S. And this one right here, I absolutely love. I'm not going to turn it on right now, but you can see I've done a little mod on it. I don't have the bigger battery in it yet because I was testing to see if the back can fit, but I do have a bigger battery to put in here. And this little 3D printed back is just awesome. It works really well. And it makes it actually easier to hold and to play than with the original back on it. So I couldn't get it in the exact same gray, but I think it kind of looks cool like that anyway. So there we have it, my clamshell collection right here. I'm getting out of order here. Can we fit them all on screen? I don't think so, but let's just do the square ones here. That's them. That's all the clamshells I have for today for you, my friends. I'm probably missing something. I'm forgetting to show you something or tell you something right now. But do me a favor, my friends. Drop me a like. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know which clamshell you like the best. Do you like clamshells? If you do, which one do you have? Which one do you want? I got a bunch of these, and I'm thinking of giving some away pretty soon. I have a bunch of MechDIY content to come in the future. So again, thank you, MechDIY. I'll have links in the description for everything. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.